I'm Scott with Western Star Trucks North Limited here in Atchison, Alberta. And today I'm going to go through a daily underhood inspection that a driver needs to perform every day before they start the truck and go on a trip. So obviously the first thing we're going to look at is oil level. Now we just had this engine running, but proper oil level check is obviously engine stopped, level ground, and wait 20 minutes. And we're going to look at whether we're in between the hash marks. This one's just showing a little bit high, but if you are within the hash marks, you don't need to add any oil. You only want to add oil when it's below the add or in the minimum. The reason for that is every engine's going to find where its happy is. So if you're always adding oil when it's in the middle and you're always every day, let's say, it's probably because the calibration, the dipstick might be out and the engine's just flooded and it's using burning some of that oil. So if most of the time what we see when the guy understands this is the oil level will move to a certain area within the hash marks and stay there. So you don't need to add any oil until it's at the add or the minimum. And if I do have to add, there's my fill. This is a Detroit engine, so fill is right there. The other thing I'm going to do is have a glance at my power steering fluid level, and with the engine cold or power steering, I can just touch the box, make sure it's like the ambient temperature, and it is. And we're at the minimum cold level. If we're adding a bunch and when the power steering gets hot, it's just going to blow out of here. So cold level is the best check. If it is hot, that's going to be your hot check. Next thing over here that we have clear is a frame-mounted fuel filter. This is a Dabco filter, and these filters will fill up the fluid level until it gets to here. When it gets to red band, that's time to change it. This one I don't see any fuel in it. The engine does run, so it's down there where I can't see. That filter's good. Our coolant levels. Now this is an interesting type of tank. So this area that's empty right now, so this is the actual rad cap here. So this has the pressure release in it. And there's the drain. That's if the tank gets to that level where it can't bring any more coolant. So cold engine, this is normal. We shouldn't see anything in here. So if this engine is cold and you see a bunch of coolant in here, there's too much coolant in there. It's just going to blow that out. So with the cold engine, we're going to look at the cooled minimum. And this one's got plenty of coolant in it. It's above that cold minimum, so a good coolant level there. If I need any washer fluid, I'll add that at this point. It goes in there. 5700s what this truck does have a low windshield washer level lamp. Around to the others, well, obviously I'm just going to check for any oil leaks, and brand new engine, there's nothing here. But I would look at these hoses, this one around the thermostat, maybe look at the fuel system here, make sure I don't have any fuel leaks, and this one's good. So go around the other side. Okay, here we are on the right side of the engine, or the exhaust side as I like to see. So very important things to check are intake piping, and I literally grab them, give them a good hard pull. This here connection goes to the air compressor. I'm going to make sure that's good and tight, and there's another connection back there that I would pull. The other thing you want to do is look at the manifold and look for any exhaust leaks, and what you're going to see is black soot. So exhaust manifold, here's the EGR pipe that goes into the cooler. I'm going to look at that. Any exhaust leaks along here and towards the back and around the turbo. The reason why that is important on EGR engines, if we have leaks there, the engine will actually use more EGR, which affects performance, affects fuel mileage, and it affects our after treatment. So if you see a leak here, it doesn't mean you're down for the day, but it means that you need to get it looked at when you are at a service facility. Then the last thing I'm going to check is the belts. I'm just going to make sure there's alignment, make sure there's nothing frayed on either side. Give it a turn to look for any cracks, and just make sure everything's tight. And on this engine it is. And that's a basic overlook of underhood check before I drive. Okay, now continuing with the daily routine of checking things. And behind this panel on the driver's side is where we have our batteries and our DEF tank. So good thing to check here every once in a while. It's not every day. Make sure everything's tight. If Again, grabbing everything and being fairly aggressive to make sure nothing's loose, and obviously looking for corrosion. And this is also a good area to remove when you wash the truck and keep those batteries